Welcome to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's and Men's Curling Championships here in Stratford, Ontario. We are coming to you live from the Stratford Rotary Complex, and this is the first playoff game in the men's championship. My name's Danielle Inglis, and I am joined in the booth tonight by Joel Kratz, who is the 2021 World Junior Qualifier champion, heading to Sweden for the World Juniors in May. Welcome, Joel.
Hey, thank you.
So we've got our feature matchup on the ice today. Team Ontario, skipped by Landon Rooney, taking on Newfoundland's Nathan Young. So Joel, your initial thoughts on this matchup tonight?
I think it should be very close. This is the second national championship for both of these teams, and they both made the semifinal. So I think that experience should help both teams here, and it should be a great matchup.
So there was a draw to the button before the game. We observed it will be Ontario with the hammer. Newfoundland, uncharacteristically, not having a great draw to the button, but we did talk about how that could just look like a bad dress rehearsal for going into the game. You know, both of these teams coming in here with some experience, having competed at the World Junior Qualifier. And also the name Team Young should be familiar to everyone watching the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier this past year, the Young team that dazzled the fans. They were joking earlier on, caught up with them in the hallway, and they said, well, we flipped our record around this time. So instead of going 1-7 at the Brier, we're now 7-1. So some really valuable experience that they're coming into the game with. Both these teams, as mentioned, Newfoundland 7-1. Also Ontario coming into this with 7-1. Their only loss being to Team Manitoba during the round robin. And to kick things off, we have Ben Stringer throwing lead rocks for Team Newfoundland. He is an education student at Memorial University. Straightforward end, bring it right into the top. Aiden, we're going to see a hit called for Team Ontario's Austin Snyder. He is a professional golf management student at Humber College.
Yep. Right to it. Yep. Good, bud.
So Joel, you often see teams starting off the first end this week with a fairly open end. Talk to us about why you may be seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, I think Nathan Young's team with a little bit unfortunate draw to the button to start. So I think for them, very typical first end for them if they don't have hammer to want a blank. So not very surprised with the start to this game.
Teams are doing well with their target practice so far. I mean, they are simple, straightforward shots, but they really can say a lot off the top if you can make those simple shots.
Yeah, of course, and these teams are very highly skilled, so a nose hit is a more simpler shot for them, for sure.
We have an over curl, and that rock will roll right out. Opens the door for Newfoundland to get some draw weight back.
Yeah, it actually came down quite a bit.
Would have been a little commentator's curse there, right? As we're saying that the nose hit is pretty simple for these teams. They got to roll out.
A bit of a jinx. Throwing second stones for Newfoundland Labrador, Nathan Locke. He is in electrical engineering at the College of North Atlantic.
Back 4. Back 8. Back 12. You should sit. That's fine, Nate. Okay, Nate. It's fine. Nate. Good job, guys.
And that will stick around in the back 12.
Just a little bit fast. Yeah, a little bit of adrenaline. What?
Catching them off guard. Their draws during the draw the button came up pretty well short, so probably thinking to add a little extra. Now we have Jacob Jones, the second for Team Ontario,
What?
throwing a hit on the rock in the back.
Finish up, though.
Jacob is an architecture student at Mohawk College. He'll hit, roll out.
60 left.
Sounds like a bit more extra weight than they're anticipating. That just means that Nathan's going to have another opportunity to find draw weight.
Weight's up. Weight's a bit better.
I'm a little interested to see now how the ice holds up throughout this game.
You're all there right now.
All week the weather has been fairly cold, but now today it's warmed up significantly. So we have seen a lot of curl on these sheets in this arena and speeds that were 16 seconds plus. So interesting to see if that holds up today or if it's a little bit slower.
Chief Ice Technician Don Powell has had his hands full this week with the weather, saying he's like a weather specialist now. They've had every type of weather: snow, rain, wind, temperatures going from -10 up to plus 10, 15. Wild.
Yeah, and I've had the opportunity to throw on this ice a couple times, and even after 10 ends, the ice is still great. So Don has done a great job this week with the ice.
And kudos to him and his ice crew for maintaining both ice pads. It's been a busy week for them.
Find that too? Not as much grip. Forward? You got it.
Throwing third stones for Team Newfoundland Labrador, Sam Follett. Sam is doing his Bachelor's of Science at Memorial University.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah, nice hit there. Team Ontario third, Nathan Steele. He's a police studies student at Georgian College.
Lead, Jacob. Lead, Austin. Lead. Yep, Austin a little bit. Yep.
And a well-executed nose hit.
A little bit of a retooled lineup for this Ontario team from what we saw at the World Qualifier back in November. Players moving up positions, but certainly you can see by their record that they've still held their own with all the other teams. So kudos to them for that.
It's great. It shows the level of talent there is on that team, that they can change it up, still have some incredible results.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Wait, fine. Yep. Wait, good. Yep. Hard, just go. Yep.
This is a big scrub to get to nose.
Keep going. Watch that roll. Right. Good, Nate.
And they hold it. Heading on to skip stones. So we've got Skip Nathan Young. He's a Bachelor of Commerce and Finance and Bachelor of Arts Economics student at Memorial University. Another fun fact about him is that he won the gold medal in the mixed doubles at the 2020 Youth Olympic Games. Again, making all these simple, straightforward shots this end. That'll bring us to skip stones for Team Ontario. And there's skip Landon Rooney, who's a humanities student at the University of Toronto. And he not only played second for Ontario at the 2020 Canadian Juniors, he also played second at 2018 U18s, Canadian U18s. So you talk about moving positions, Joel, and there's another example throughout his years. We've got Nathan already in the hack, ready to throw, not wasting any time. It's quick work. Team Ontario with the hammer, looking for the blank. Both teams banking quite a bit of time in this first end. Hopefully ready for some big, exciting ends to come, Joel.
Yeah, I think so. These teams should be, pretty soon they should be mixing up, I think.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Easy. Just clean. Clean. Yep. Yep. Clean. Clean. Clean.
And here it is, and that will be a blank by Team Ontario, and they will retain the hammer coming into end number 2. And we'll be back in just a few moments.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Men's Playoff game featuring Team Ontario taking on Team Newfoundland Labrador. We had a blank in the first end. We are back, Team Ontario with the hammer here in end number 2.
Should be up to speed. We throw some hits down it. Yeah.
So we had a very straightforward first end, a lot of target practice here, Joel. What do you expect for this second end?
Well, it looks like Team Ontario is going to throw the corner guard. I'm not sure how aggressive Team Newfoundland will play, if they'll just go along with that or not. But I think you could see them come in the rings once again since their first rock and slipped into the back 8.
Keep going. Keep going. A little deeper. Yep. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. Good.
That'll be a fairly high guard. That's the thing. We've talked about this on other broadcasts too, the importance of placement for guards, especially on this ice that curls so much. If it's too high, it's so easy to come around even with hack weight, even if it's fully buried. So it can be important about where you're really placing them.
Yeah, we've seen with the amount of curl that even if you get the weight right, it's just as hard to get the line in the right spot just because of how much it finishes.
As predicted, right into the top of the house.
Not bad.
Team Ontario is going to go after that rock.
No, wait. Oh, normal.
They'd like to see a flop in behind the corner guard.
Weight's good. Whoa. Yep. 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 Whoa, whoa. Yep. Weight's good. Whoa. Yellow, 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 yellow. Oh.
And a roll, but it will roll out the side. Looks like it should be mostly open.
What kind of weight are you throwing? 4.
And we heard that confirmed. They have the entire rock. Still a tricky spot with how much it can curl, though.
More down.
Kind of an interesting spot where that rolled, because even if you nose it, it does leave a a freeze opportunity for Ontario. So I think they're still pretty happy if this is on the nose.
Yep. Let's see, late, 7-3. All right.
And like you said, Joel, there really are two options. They could just draw around here, use that as backing or for a freeze. They're thinking about the hit and roll now, but I agree that the come around the guard would also be a really great option.
I think Nathan Locke did a great job of just getting a small flop to the outside that does sort of force this hit.
Whoa, right off. Head big. Right off. I popped it. Austin.
That also comes into how high the corner guard is too, because it is fairly high. So even if they were to draw around it, it still would probably be available for Newfoundland Labrador to come down and make a hit.
You got it, Nate. Take your time.
Not really at all surprised with this call. I think Team Newfoundland realizing there's not a great opportunity for a force. Just going to peel the guard.
And we have an enthusiastic crowd out here tonight. Might be one of the biggest, you would say, Joel?
Yeah, I think so. And now that most of the teams are finished for the week and they're just taking the opportunity to take into playoff action with lots of excitement.
So what's great about this championship is that all the players are staying and having that opportunity to spend time together. There's also an award ceremony banquet tomorrow for all the teams. So how important is it for these players to have the opportunity to play on this arena ice, to be on a live stream on TV, and to be playing in front of these fans?
Well, it's a great opportunity that, even though you're here, you never know if you're gonna get the chance once again. And there's only so many events a year that you get the opportunity to throw on arena ice. Even the teams that maybe had a little disappointing week, still good to get that experience for future events down the road.
Perspective. And thinking back to your own playing, Joel, do you remember your first arena experience, and what was that like? What were your thoughts about the whole atmosphere?
Well, it was great. We had fans on the ice, just the way that arena was set up. Sometimes players that come on the arena for the first time might get a little overwhelmed, especially with the way they had to throw the rock from listening on TV a little bit. But it looks like since the conditions are so good here that the players can be very comfortable throwing the rock just like they do at their club.
You also had a unique experience this year playing with Team Gushu as well.
Yeah, that was last October. Very fortunate for that. Those guys are really supportive of junior curling in Newfoundland, and great weekend with those guys.
And what are some of the tips that you're allowed to share with us about what you picked up from playing with that team?
Just that even if it's just a draw, try to be as precise as possible. Try to get everything out of every shot, even if it's a simple one.
Normal.
Good advice. We'll all be excited to cheer them on at the World Men's starting this Saturday in Las Vegas.
Of course, it also gave me a little perspective of how good those top teams are. Even just after the first couple ends with those guys, you just realize how talented they are.
And how much work they truly put into the game to get to where they are.
Yeah, of course.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And make it look so easy on TV, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to shoot 90% day in and day out, but they make it look easy, of course.
It truly is. It's amazing to watch the level of play, and that's where. But everybody started somewhere, and a lot of those guys started right here at the Canadian Juniors.
It's Norm. Thank you. It's Paul. I'm too dumb for university. I'm too stupid for university.
And speaking of preparation, you heading to Sweden. What are some of the things you've been doing in preparation with your team?
Oh, well, since they were pushed back, I've tried to spend as much time as possible with the team and get as much practice in. So late in the year, and since we won so many months ago, it's hard to stay focused, but now it's getting a little closer, so the excitement is building once again.
Same throw.
You're saying you're going to have to be traveling around in order to find practice ice as well.
Yeah,
so late.
Yeah, so the ice in Halifax where we play is coming out at the end of April, so we're gonna head to Newfoundland, where I'm from, for a couple weeks, and grateful that the Remax Center is still open at that point, or we wouldn't be able to have ice before the World Championship.
Good throw.
We're coming up to the last rock here in N2. Team Ontario playing for the blank.
All right, let's.
Last rock, N2.
Yep.
Big scrub off the bat.
Real hard. Hard. Roll out. Hard. Get that out. Okay.
And it will be 1 for Team Ontario. And they will have a 1-0 lead going into N3, and we'll be back in just a moment.
This is where the focus comes into play. Look at that. Canada, say hello to your new champions.
Proudly pulling for this generation of Canadians and the next for over 40 years at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Men's first playoff game here in Stratford, Ontario. We're at the Stratford Rotary Complex. My name's Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Joel Kratz. And we've had a fairly straightforward start to this game. A lot of target practice out there. But the little excitement came when Ontario ended up practically nosing on their blank attempt and picking up a single.
Yeah, they're not going to be very happy with that, unfortunately, but it does give them the first score in this game, which is just never a bad thing, of course.
It really is important. I really like how you put that. It's important to look at the positives of the situation. Well, you nosed it. What are you going to do? Well, at least you got the first score of the game. The guard nice and tight, just off the rings. Team Newfoundland going for the draw around to the top 4.
All right, buddy. We're up there. Hey, I would throw very similar weight.
And coming up short, this is a spot they had played a couple times, a little bit further out than their 2 draws, but very different result. Their other ones had gone a little bit heavy in this spot.
A little bit uncharacteristic for the Newfoundland team, struggling with draw weight to open this one up.
That's a slow slide.
It can be tough when you don't quite have that feel right off the bat, but the nice thing is that for them is that you do have 10 ends to figure it out. And Team Ontario sinking a beautiful shot here into the top 4. That is buried right behind guard.
Top 12 and top 8 is good.
Well, I was going to say that Ontario put that center guard a little tight to the rings, but they made that second one very nicely that they can run that back at any time now.
Heavy right now. I don't think so.
It makes it much tougher on the freeze for this rock, too, for Team Newfoundland Labrador.
Yeah, we are. Hurry! Hurry, guys! Yeah, go. Keep up behind you. Yeah, go. Sam! Go.
Had to play the audible on that shot. They will bury behind. Call is just to freeze right down to the one in the back four.
I got 2. 7. Back forward. Okay, easy. Close. Don't stop back. Whoa. Close. Lead. Yep. Right over there. Yes. Whoa. Austin's in. Little bounces like that.
And there it is. Great patience by the sweepers. Good call.
We might get all the yellows. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no surprise here. Newfoundland deciding to bail early in this end. Just trying to move. Can probably touch all those 3 red rocks, the yellow rocks, and move them off the center line.
Hard, Sammy. Somebody. You gotta go, Sam. You gotta go. Hurry up.
And they will get 2.
Okay.
Nice. They've now left 2 corner guards up there for themselves.
Okay. I don't think you can get too much ice here. Okay.
I think I almost like that result a little better because if they hit the high side, they probably would have rolled. Even if they made the triple, they would have rolled to block both drop paths off. So I think that result is pretty good.
Absolutely. And those 2 rocks that are left in play, they're behind the tee. Where you want them when you have hammer.
Nate's rock. Line's good. 3. Okay, whoa, if it's a 3. Where's the guys? Okay, Austin, stay close. Just past you. Okay, whoa, easy. Austin, stay close, though. Easy. No, you're good. Just on nibble center. Oh. Good.
And another tight guard.
Same shot, Nate.
Nose, Nate. Little high.
Dog same. You got it, bud.
So it looks like they'll be playing the run back again, but talk about having where that shooter ends up here too, and they've got to be careful that they don't cut off their draw to the 4-foot draw to the button. And they get it. Beautiful shot. Now, it was really what they wanted, but again, that rock did cut it off. So you see here, just a nice clean in.
Real good.
Makes the double. Mission accomplished, and it is all red now.
Yeah, even though it does sort of block off the draw path, I think it is still advantage Newfoundland in this situation. Because even if Ontario makes a roll behind one of these guards, it is behind the tee line, and that hole is big enough up the center line that you could freeze with either turn, no matter what way they roll.
Weight's good. Yep. Weight's good. Hair solid. Yep. Gotta go.
And this rock is moving. Big scrub to keep it in. And it will roll out.
Like top 8? Yeah.
Great opportunity for Newfoundland now to bury around some staggered guards.
Top 8? Yeah. How close is this to draw the button, you think? Same speed. You good, buddy.
So that comment you mentioned, they said that even though this is not the draw path, and they didn't really throw here in practice because you're trying to practice for your draw to the button, the speed is still the same pretty much in any path, regardless of how many rocks have been thrown down.
That's good information to have valuable so that when you do get in this exact situation, you can execute quickly.
All right, guys.
Get in.
They'll drag it on, and great weight. They'll get that about half to 3/4 buried.
Like board? You have like half? What? You have like half? Yeah, about that.
So they have a good half.
That's fine. Come on. Like, line would have been pretty close. Faster.
Ontario's going to want to roll this way over to the wing just to probably make Newfoundland throw the nose hit and stay away from those guards.
Yeah, whoa, 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 close. Yeah, whoa, whoa. Austin, stop. Yeah, keep going.
See, finally, once it gets over the center line, it really starts to go.
No, it's easy. Get it out. Good shot.
And that will stick around, roll right out the side to the side at 8.
Four here, Sammy. You got it. Good.
We talked about guard placement being tough on this ice because of how much finish it has, but how about those hidden rolls?
I think they're a little easier just based on when you up the weight probably past board. It does run a little straighter, so you can control it pretty well with the sweepers or put the broom down pretty close to where you want to hit the rock.
This is a tricky spot because we've seen a lot of late finish here, typically. And there it goes. And that's where, in particular, that spot on the sheet, it really finishes hard. So you've got to be comfortable with looking at the rock practically being way on the outside, even for a hit and roll in, because it finishes that much within the hog line.
And these guys are really good sweepers. Just had to be cautious of getting the outside guy on there to try to get some curl. And with all the late finish, you could lose it just like they did there. Still a pretty good shot. Those guards are definitely in your view when you're trying to come through that hole there.
I still got piece buried.
We try to roll away. Yeah. Like this board? This spot moves pretty good. Okay.
So we've got some board weight coming from Team Ontario. Skip Landon Rooney.
Yep. Yeah, that's hard. Hard.
And this spot is moving. They will be all over that front guard.
Get that out.
Bit of an untimely miss there for Landon Rooney. Now great opportunity for Newfoundland to pop a deuce.
Just softened it, I think. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. You have a wide open net. Yeah. Almost a little scary there. Yeah, I was like, I wasn't sure what to do because I'm like, the thinner you hit it, the least, it's not going to go as far. But the thicker you hit it, the more likely.
I like where Newfoundland is trying to place this stone. Instead of coming all the way around those guards and leaving Ontario hit and roll behind all three of those red rocks, they're just going to come about, try to get edge on edge and sort of, the term Christmas tree comes up there and try to show them all of each, but not let them roll in behind.
Yeah, very mature call.
Yeah, a lot of teams would try to get fully buried, which is good, but if they do make that roll, then you're going to be forced to draw to the button for one.
Yeah, also in that case, got to watch out for leaving any double possibilities too, if it hangs out or goes too deep. So precise shot needed here from Nathan.
Yep. Yes. Hard.
And pretty close to perfect, though. As you mentioned, Joel, they would have liked to leave that more edge on edge. Just finished up pretty hard on them at the end.
Yeah, they did bury it about a quarter rock. If the Ontario team ever rolls to say here, there will be a raise available for two. But if they do roll sort of right here, I don't think that Newfoundland can kind of raise this one back. Maybe they could with with sort of back line or hack weight. But since you're raising a rock with hack weight, there's not much momentum left in that stone, so I'm not sure if they would be able to remove the Ontario shot rock.
It's the Ontario's last rock here in N3. Team Newfoundland Labrador with the hammer. And facing 2, he needs a hit and roll. Needs to stay in the 4-foot for shot.
Whoa, right off. Austin. Hard, keep going. Hard.
Yes, keep going, buddy.
Hard.
And this is not getting the expected curl.
That's fine.
So it will be an open hit for the deuce for Team Newfoundland Labrador. Those are early on in the game. Those hit and rolls can be tricky when you haven't spent as much time on this sheet to know exactly what each spot is going to do.
I like that. I should be able to move it a bit if I need to.
Also just thinking needing to make contact might have upped the weight a touch and didn't get that roll.
That's nice, sir.
Yeah, you got it.
Keep your bump down.
Take your time.
We got it, buddy.
Good positive affirmations in the hack, in the sweepers. And here we go with the last rock in N3.
Forward. Whoa, Nate. Forward. Manny. Clean. Yep. Clean. Good, Nate.
And that will be a deuce, and Newfoundland Labrador takes a 2-1 lead over Ontario after N3, and we will be back in just a few moments.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Men's Curling Championship. This is the playoffs first game, Team Ontario versus Team Newfoundland and Labrador. My name's Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Joel Kratz. So we saw a lot of rocks in play in the third end, Joel. The approach for the fourth end, especially for Team Ontario with the hammer, what do you expect?
Oh, well, it looks like we're going to see some aggression here, and Newfoundland with a 1-point lead. They do throw the center guard, and now Ontario will throw the corner. Team Newfoundland with a very well-played fourth end to get themselves out of trouble and then also set up for a deuce and capitalize on the opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Really got to go. Nate. Yeah, right over there. Keep going. Mine's getting better. Keep going. Okay, good feet, guys. Why'd you keep coming?
That guard looks vaguely familiar from 2 ends ago.
Of course, it's a little higher than you'd like.
It felt better. I think it might be a hair heavy. It's not bad, though. It's good.
So Team Newfoundland playing the draw around the center.
Whoa. Bit of room, Nate. Your rock.
Nate, if you can, buddy.
If you can.
Yeah. Watch the depth. Watch the depth.
Great shot, man. That boy.
And it will sit just behind top button.
I gotta play this thing turn. Never mind.
Change of tactics. That would have been a rough hole to come through on the out-turn side.
Yeah, I don't think that's even possible just the way where that guard is.
One's good.
Normally in a playoff game, there is only one sheet in play, but since there are 4 sheets, teams don't get to choose what rocks they'd like from either sheet. But one advantage that Team Newfoundland has is their coach, Jeff Thomas, works with Team Gushu, and as we know, Jules Ocher is one of the best coaches at choosing good stones for their players to throw. And since these are Curling Canada rocks, that I'm sure Jeff has some insider information on these stones. So that's one advantage that the Newfoundland team may have.
You got it. That's fine.
Yeah, that can make all the difference. Those small, minute changes, those little subtle differences in rocks, especially when it's coming down to centimeters out here.
Top 4.
And you mentioned, Joel, that there are 3 other sheets going right now, all in the playoffs. We'll give you a couple of updates throughout the game, but keep an eye on the line scores on Curling Canada's website, curling.ca/scoreboard.
Come young, clean. Hit and roll.
Yeah.
Newfoundland just leaving that one a little bit too late to call on the sweep. It just rubs the guard.
No. Nate.
It's a hair heavier than they were expecting. Trying to sweep for some curl.
Okay, it's not actually that bad. All right.
That was a good comment. Wasn't what they were looking for, but not too bad in the end. They're still staying behind the center line guard. Not quite shot, but decent position.
Do you want to run? Yeah.
Jacob just missing a hair on the wide side on most of his hits so far. Maybe just overthrowing that a little.
Good observation to make, especially if you're Team Young. You're looking for every advantage, every opportunity. So you've got to scout the other team, keep an eye on what they're having. So if you do have the chance, a decision between 2 shots of what to make them throw, then potentially look for their weaknesses and try and make them throw that.
Keep going, Sammy. Cool. That's fine, Nate.
Yep.
And a high guard, and that is blocking the hole. Again, the red is shot in the back 4 foot there.
Can give this one go at least. Hey. Hair high. Okay.
So double peel being asked of Team Ontario's Jacob Jones.
Whoa. Close. Whoa, no. Straight up. No. Really close. Yeah. Okay.
And it was really close.
Same shot.
Yeah.
Again, they're a couple shots away from being able to get at that rock in the back 4 just because of the way the guards are staggered.
I like this call Newfoundland is throwing. Very low risk to throw a guard on the shot rock in the back of the 4. Although there is a Ontario stone in the top of the 4 foot. Almost impossible to promote based on where the yellow corner guards are and how tight the red center guard is to the rings.
A very smart call. And I'm going to thank your sweepers for that one.
Really good to get that over. Newfoundland would have been in some trouble if that was missed.
You mean like a halfway there?
One bonus of keeping it that high is the double peel is just that much more difficult now. So much separation in between those 2 guards. Pretty much as far away from each other as you can in the free guard zone, but foot above the rings and a foot over the hog line.
Pretty much, and that's why they were actually looking at one point and running theirs into the rock and the tight red rock, but they are going to try this long double.
Yep. Hard. Come on. Attaboy.
And a beauty.
Shot.
And we'll just have another look at that again. Great line call, great throw, and a perfectly executed double peel. So now a switch up of tactics for Team Young, playing the hidden roll on the yellow rock in the top 4.
10. 10.
Oh, wait was good, man.
Sorry about that.
That's why I called you. I know you couldn't say that, right?
Sorry, Nate.
That's okay.
And the rollout, thinking a
Yeah, hidden roll.
bit too much sweeping. They like the weight.
I like that. Actually.
Threw that one pretty hard, in my opinion, for what you were trying to do.
I don't know if there's this. It's going to be right after speed here, eh?
Sounds like they might have some nerves with how much it's been curling. They've been seeing on the sheets and threw it there.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that didn't need to throw it that hard, especially if you need to stick around and with how bouncy these rocks are off
yeah.
of each other. They really spring off when you hit.
One's okay.
Now, this is kind of an interesting situation now. With Ontario throwing those double peels and having to hit so close to the nose, those 3 corner guards are now sort of acting as basically 3 guards in a row. Although they're so high, as long as you get it buried, pretty hard to remove.
Keep going. Go, Jay. Keep going. Keep going.
They will get half on the rings, and bury a piece of it.
I think I have someone to go at. That's plenty of throw there. Okay. Other options do this.
Oh, I like your hidden roll.
Got a half rock. I like it.
I don't hate hack. Kind of way you want to throw it. Forward. Are you seeing more of the wings, you think?
Yeah, maybe a bit, but pretty close. Forward wing.
Okay. Make sure that the other way, eh? Yeah. Forward.
So they can see about a half of that, and they're calling board weight. Being a hit and roll, they really want to make sure to stick around here.
Yeah, about.
Put some pressure on Ontario. If they don't, you'll be able to. Ontario will be able to try that draw again.
We go after here. Good lead.
Yeah, I like it. You got it. Clean, straight. Roll it. Roll it. Go.
And beautiful shot.
Good. Yeah, I like this.
So again, it showed the importance of sticking around. Now Ontario is making a play on the rock in the back 4.
She likes it. I think this will really curl on it. This should curl good. You like this with control? Oh, wait. Control? Yeah. That might, I think that's probably min-off. I think it had more, yeah. This should rip real good.
So adjustment on the ice. A smart move because around center, especially once most of the rock is over center, it really starts to go.
Wade's good. Whoa. Yep. Hard, buddy, hard. Really hard. Any roll. Hard. Okay.
Got a bit of a roll, but that will be wide open on the back button.
Yeah, you can roll if you make them drop. No.
Take your time, buddy. Take your time. Sam, I was surprised that last rock in that last game curled that.
So Joel, where would Team Newfoundland Labrador like to see their shooter go after this hit?
Pardon me?
I think what Nathan Young is thinking is that if he rolls a little bit underneath the rock in the top 8, since there's kind of no draw, you might see Ontario try a double and a blank opportunity, which is not exactly what Newfoundland is looking for. So they're just going to roll open, and that would most likely prompt Ontario to take the single, which is exactly what Newfoundland wants.
Skip Nathan Young with his last here in N4.
Forward up! Forward up! Clean! Clean! Yep. Clean! Clean, Nate! Clean! Yep! Yep! Hard, Nate. Whoa! 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 Yep! Yep! Clean! Clean!
Here's that hit.
Good.
And the roll.
Decision time now for Ontario. There's two different shots you could play. You could, unfortunately, you can't nose a top rock and be shot, so you would have to roll in towards the center a little bit. You could also throw a draw that is in a little bit of a different spot. Probably not a draw you'd like to throw against two. So they're just going to try to flop in towards the center line a little for their one.
And so that rock ended up pretty close to perfect spot in behind the guards. And this is the spot where Ontario, when they threw before, threw a little bit too much weight and it ran a hair on them. So got to be careful with weight control.
Yeah, because if your nose or outside, you're going to give up a steal of one.
Last rock of the fourth end. Landon Rooney.
Nate, really hard. No, Nate.
This rock is not curling the way they'd like it, and it will be a nose. So that means it is a steal of one for Team Newfoundland Labrador, and they will take a 3-1 lead heading into N5. And we'll be right back in a few moments. Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Men's and Women's Curling Championships. We're in N5 in our feature game. Team Newfoundland Labrador with a 3-1 lead over Team Ontario. And we have three other playoff games out here on the ice with us. We have Team New Brunswick with a 4-1 lead over Team Alberta on sheet A. That's a women's game. In our other women's game, it is all tied up with Team Ontario and Team Alberta. And the other men's game on the ice, it is Team Alberta with a 3-1 lead over Team BC, and you can keep an eye on those scores on Curling Canada's website, curling.ca/scoreboard.
One's good.
So expect to see some more offense from this Ontario team here in N5. They lost a bit of momentum in that last end. It was really Team Newfoundland with all of the rock placement.
Yeah, the type of shots that Ontario was playing was sort of pretty conservative. They weren't trying very hard, too hard for a deuce. And then, unfortunately, unable to make the last one for one. So they're going to have to try pretty hard to maybe soften their weight because they are missing a little bit on the high side and try a few more draw shots.
Just past the hair. Shout the hair heavy, guys.
It's a hair heavy, but they hit it early, just with a little tight on line off the bat.
Not Nate, not Nate. Never Nathan. Whoa! Let it sit. What's up, man?
And that was a good comment by Nathan.
Yeah, but you know the weight.
when you just keep sweeping it, you're just continuing it on its trajectory, so it's going to continue curling. So that's why it was important to pick when you were sweeping. So you saw them hit it right off the bat for a few feet to try to hold it. When you're sweeping before that break point, you can really hold it, but after that break point, you're just continuing it on, especially on ice that curls this much.
Nate drop. 6. Top 8. 5. Nate drop. 5. Okay. 6. 6. 6. Line's getting good. 6. Weight's really good. Can't bounce though. Cannot bounce. 6. Okay. Line's perfect with no bounce. 6. Good. Shot.
See just how close they had to come to that guard in order to make the freeze.
It's not. You've been throwing it pretty close. Maybe best try to unlock it a little bit. Tap it. Nose tap it there. Just throw back 4.
Just back 4, Nate. Not a lot.
Rearranging the angles. Or as a former coach of mine said, redecorate the house. So you don't need to throw out all the furniture. You just need to make it look a little bit different with what you have.
You mentioned the outturn side, the other side of the sheet, had lots of finish. That spot there that overcurled is one that I've noticed throughout the week that if you're not positive or quite out to the broom, then you're going to wreck the guard almost every time, unfortunately.
It's really,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it's really, you bring up a good point that it's not only just sides, but it's different spots on the ice. So it's important to map out those spots, really, so that you know where it's going to curl, where it might run straight, and especially given different weights, too.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think both of these teams, either of these teams, have played on the sheet yet, so hopefully they were watching maybe the women's draw this morning to scout this sheet a little bit.
One's really good. One's perfect.
That's the beauty of this being a live stream sheet. You can head on over and have a look at it at any time. These games are still archived on Curling Canada's YouTube page. That was a beautiful drawing behind it. It is fully buried.
I do too.
Yeah, 7-5.
There is no double, but Newfoundland trying to remove their back one and catch the side yellow.
Get over. Pardon me? Okay, not bad. That's okay.
Oh, that's pretty interesting setup.
That's his intro.
Yeah, the red rock just spun up there, and now it's kind of unusable for Newfoundland.
Yeah. Okay, you guys got this.
So now Ontario drawing around the other corner guard after Newfoundland chipped the center guard.
And the biggest thing they have to keep in mind here is not to leave a double.
Yeah, you can be anywhere up in the top of the rings as long as you're buried. If you can see a half a rock in the top 8, there might be a double.
The way we've also seen this curl, it should be well buried.
Yeah, I got to go hard to get this one by.
Yeah, it looked like they might have had good line if they had a few feet more weight on that.
I've got a small half of the yellow.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to go for it or do you want to just draw here?
I don't mind the hit and roll. I have a small half.
I think the chase is the best shot. It is hard to remove.
I'm seeing that.
Draw.
It's interesting, though. Nathan sees something different than the players down in the hack area.
Speed's okay, Sammy.
I think one thing is just the shot difficulty. I mean, a draw to the top 4 around a center guard is much easier than throwing a hack waiter around a corner guard to a rock that's you can probably see only a thin half.
Because if you ever wrecked on your red one, you'd be in trouble.
A bit heavy.
Of course, or the corner guard to allow access to hit that red one out, and then Ontario would lie 3. Good looking rock here, though. They can get it by.
Shoots it.
And that will sit for shot. As you can see, it is actually well over buried.
Yeah, a little fortunate that that red guard is there because it did, you can see, come out the other side, but there is no hole. Ontario now utilizing that because it's behind the corner guard. Good chance to come down with a freeze.
Nathan Steele.
Best part about that is it overburied. What?
Big shot here.
So the best part about that is that overburied.
Gonna have lots of room by this guard.
Gonna finish really close, actually. Wow.
Well, that's lots of room by comparison to the Newfoundland Stone. And
I'd say.
it doesn't look like it got shot. And Nathan's indicating that it is Red who shot.
If he plays the run, we might spill a shot.
Kind of sort of ran out of the rings the way that was coming in there. It was almost going sideways more than it was going forward. And just how much it was curling, the weight came off of it because they did seem to like it for most of the way down.
Couple feet left, not a lot. We start that a bit. Top 12 isn't terrible either. Like just in behind that yellow bit. Looking for frozen? No. Top 8? Where to?
Top 8, like a 4 or 5.
4 or 5. So even top 12 is okay.
Really good conversation there about shot tolerance.
Yeah, because if they do come deep, they'll leave. They could chip off and leave a double for Ontario. So important to keep this one in front of the Yellowstone.
Line's good, guys. Top 8. Room now. Top 12. Top 12. Room.
Line's good.
Room.
Line's good.
Just top 12.
Yep.
And there it goes sideways.
Just top 12.
Land of Beauty.
Funny how they were yelling room halfway, like when it was coming in over the hog line, even though still only got by about 2 inches.
2 inches seems like a mile on the way that this curls.
Yeah.
It's like just nose with the out. You can throw the in too if you want. I like the out, I think, right? Which way am I trying to hit it over? I feel like intern might be... It's just nose. Okay.
Well, there is a shot lined up now that there is a run back triple actually to sit 4 if hit correctly. It's almost the nose or a hair high.
So a big shot for Nathan Steele. Well, and that will just find the hole.
Counting 2 things. Freeze or guard, high guard.
Oh, no.
Damn preference. Here's guard. Guard using
What were you taking from me?
I think the guard is the call. If Ontario decides to run this one back again, it will be a Newfoundland Stone coming back into the rings. And the shooter from the last shot, the angle isn't quite there now to remove probably more than 2 of the Newfoundland Stones without jamming it in there.
You want to bury one like
Looks like they might want to try to wrap it around and try to get it into, oh, sorry, we switched the camera angle there, but try to get it into sort of this area and try to overlap it just a little bit.
It removes that run possibility.
Yeah, it runs nice.
A spot they're very familiar with.
Pass that yellow first, Pete.
You got one.
The first rock and 5 for skip Nathan Young.
Yep. Tight.
This one is curling early.
Looks like it's going to be a lot lighter.
No, you can't. You're one.
So they're calling the audible, needing it to stop. And it will only guard about a quarter of that red rock.
Makes it awkward.
Yeah, I don't think it did the trick there.
How much you go to this red?
I think that triple might be there, at least to get rid of the two reds on the that are lined up there.
I guess we don't worry. Don't worry about the triple. It is there. We don't even need to take on the guard and then go ahead and keep this down. Yeah.
So what could be there is for Team Ontario, they're going to try to come down here, and they'd come across, and then this one would go out. This one would come back and catch this, and this red would come out down there like that. Would leave Ontario to sit 4. Tough shot because that red rock in the top of the 8-foot is partially buried, maybe a quarter buried. Looks like they are going to give it a go.
Despite all of those lines you just drew, it is fairly straightforward. Like, throw a ton of weight at the broom there, and it is lined up pretty well.
Yeah, one thing you're looking for at a triple is a 90-degree angle, and that is certainly there with hitting it with a thick half, which is, they can see a little more than that. So certainly a makeable shot. And Newfoundland would most likely have to make a freeze against 4, which is not quite ideal.
Okay. If you like this, I'm really I like that. I like that.
So Landon Rooney's first. Big weight. Big potential to lay a bundle after this shot.
Yes. Whoa! Yes. Yes. Whoa! 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 Nice shot, buddy.
And just as you drew it up, sitting 4.
That is quite a curling shot.
Let's see that beauty again. Just haired by the guard, made contact, and right out.
Very well done there by Landon after a couple tough misses throwing hits so far in the game. So makes a pistol there, and now there is a triple there left for Nathan Young.
Pretty natural. It's a pretty nice shot, eh? I think it's pretty good, eh? Not complaining about it.
So what Nathan might try here is to come down like this and come across and maybe catch this one here, or even if it goes a little thinner, and catch the backside of this one. The freeze is quite dangerous because if you ever come down and chap off, there will be a nose hit for 5, and that blow the game right open.
You also got to keep in mind the scoreboard in this case too. So being up 2
of course
for them.
If it was later in the game and the game was tied, you probably see them throw the freeze, because you'd almost have to take the chance, because if you only get 2, it's still a 3. I think for Nathan Young, as long as they can get 2 out, and even if they give up 3, they'd probably be happy with that result.
Stick it behind the guard.
Yeah.
Team Newfoundland and Labrador's last rock here in N5. A big shot from the skipper.
Yep. Harney. Harney. Come on, buddy. Harney. Go. Get it out.
And it will only remove 1, that yellow just biting.
That's quite unfortunate that one didn't go out based on the weight that he threw.
As you can see, huge weight, but it's the 3rd rock it touched and didn't quite have enough to get out. So this is a draw for 4, open draw for 4 for Team Ontario.
Team Ontario being rewarded after throwing some rocks in the rings and sort of junking it up, and then making a great shot on the skipper's first.
We can work it in there. Yeah, bud.
So after such excitement, Landon Rooney taking a few extra breaths in the hack. Last rock here in N5. Needs to hit the paint to pick up a big 4 points.
Okay. Never look. Head down. Okay, you should do that. Can't hurt it. There you go. Good, bud, good.
And that will be good for 4. And Team Ontario taking a 5-3 lead over Team Newfoundland Labrador. And we will be back in a few minutes.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done. When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
And we are back at the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Men's Playoff game. We're at the fifth end break. Team Ontario taking a big 4 points in N5, and they now have a 5-3 lead over Team Newfoundland and Labrador. Joel, take us through what's happened in this first half of the game.
Well, I think both teams played pretty conservative in the first couple ends and then sort of started to junk it up. And that four kind of came out of nowhere because I don't think Newfoundland played a horrible end. They just had one overcurl on Nathan Young's first one to allow and Landon Rooney to make a triple, and he made no mistake with that. And then Nathan wasn't able to make the triple back with his last and only got rid of one, unfortunately. So that was there for the draw for four. So I think Nathan Young, just continue what you're doing because I don't think you did a horrible, that many things wrong that end.
It's great observation there. So if you're the coach of Team Newfoundland Labrador, if you are Jeff Thomas, what are you saying to the team?
I think they just need to stay calm and refocus again. A four, it was fortunate that they were up 2 points, so they only have a 2-point lead. And they do keep the hammer in the even end, so that's something to be positive about.
And if you're Team Ontario's coach, Colin Mitchell, what are you saying to the team?
I think that was a good bounce back end. The first couple ends, they were overthrowing some hits a little, and they were making very many more precise shots. And it was great that they got some rocks in play that were just hanging around the edges there. So just continue build the momentum that they got in the fourth end there, or the fifth end, sorry, and look to capitalize on any more opportunities they have in the later half of this game.
All right, and we'll be back with the second half of this game in just a few moments.
Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport. Words we embody. Powerful words. Words that speak to everything we represent. Respect, togetherness, strength. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Please give generously.
men's and women's curling championships in Stratford, Ontario. My name's Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Joel Kratz, who is the 2021 World Junior Qualifier champion, headed to Sweden for the World Juniors in May. So we're lucky to have your insight in the booth here, Joel.
Thanks. I'm having a lot of fun. Done a few games this week.
Super commentator.
Yeah, I think I might just have to start showing up to different Curling Canada events and sneak my way into the booth somehow.
Well, you would be always welcome. So in our feature matchup out here, we have Team Ontario 5-3 over Team Newfoundland. That was courtesy of a big four-ender in end 5. We also have 3 other playoff games out here on the ice. On the women's side, we have Team New Brunswick with a 4-2 lead over Team Alberta. Also have other Team Alberta with a 3-2 lead over Team Ontario on the women's side. And the other men's game on the ice, it's Team Alberta with a 4-3 lead over Team BC. And of course, you can keep an eye on those scores on the Curling Canada website, curling.ca/scoreboard. See, Team Newfoundland putting up the corner, and they're going to ignore the 2 Ontario Rocks in the center. Come around that corner.
42. Line's good. Line's good.
Watch the line, Ben. Yep.
And that is fully buried.
4 nice shots there from the from both leads.
Tap it. Yep. Yeah, bud. I'll try to give.
Here's where you see this 5 rock free guard zone strategy coming into play, where your best defense is some offense. So even though they're up by a couple, Team Ontario throwing a center guard.
Yeah, not very much else they could do. They could throw the corner freeze to the rock just thrown there by Ben Stringer, but even if you're right on it and shot rock there, it's still deep enough that Newfoundland could freeze back. So this is a good way to put some pressure on Newfoundland and keep the play out of the rings for the time being.
What are you doing? Okay, it's not bad.
And that came in a little deeper than they would have liked. Nathan just seeing how those 2 rocks line up onto their red rock. Looks like the freeze will be called.
Heavy! Line's good. Heavy. Little bump. We're past it, Nate. Back 8. Back 8. Back 8. Just coming down.
Yep. Benny.
Get past. Hard, Nate.
The sweepers did identify earlier that it was up, but they're just hoping it would come down enough.
No. Okay. Yeah, bud.
And here's that spot, Joel. They would like to try that roll in behind to center, but we've also seen this spot run a bit.
Yeah, good opportunity for Ontario because those rocks are still staggered. I think Team Young will have to deal with those pretty soon if they're going to try to move some rocks off the center line.
Keep going. Right to it. Gotta go to hit it.
They've really brought the weight down on this one and having to work it.
Keep going. Nice stick. So light. Hard, Nate, right over. Hard, Nate.
And look, sounds like they had a good throw, just a lot less weight than they were expecting.
So as expected, Newfoundland now dealing with the staggered guard situation, trying to roll and sit 2 behind the corner guard.
Yep. 10 flags. 10. We're heavy.
So they really held that rock out. And Unfortunately, also touching their rock, and they've now exposed it.
You probably chase it now. I like chasing. You took the guard, it's not bad.
It's one of the characteristics of these top teams. It's not only making good shots, but when they miss, getting something out of a miss.
Yeah, the miss there was to hit to maybe throw that a little lighter and hit the top rock instead of. They did get a little fooled. I think Nathan Young didn't hear that the weight was a little up right out of their hand, and so he was sweeping. And then by the time he realized it was heavy, it was too late.
So Team Ontario taking advantage of that miss. Needing a big scrub to get by the guard, and they will not. And also remove their rock, and same sort of fate just happened.
Every yellow is sitting. Right in the nose of board. Okay. Try to roll on top of the
Just like we were mentioning, the tolerance of a shot. They do chip the corner guard farther over, so now that the red rock is fully exposed, and they do keep the shooter around as well. So something else that Newfoundland now has to deal with to make that other red one count.
Board up! Hair heavy!
So it's a lonely red rock. Team Newfoundland Labrador playing the hit, playing the double. Big scrub to get this by and hold the shooter. And they will not. I think that was the biggest key on that shot. They really need to keep their shooter around. Because now, as we're seeing, Team Ontario gets a second crack at throwing this hit.
I kind of like the end. You got lots of room with the end. Yeah, there's lots of air. Yep.
You can see him just wiggle that broom over, tighten up the ice.
Yeah, they have seen this one run a couple times, as you mentioned earlier. And simple nose hit now compared to the last shot.
Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. Yep. Right on. Keep going. Sitting there somewhere. Okay, good shot.
And that will stick around.
Sorry, a little light. I'm like first, other than the straight release, Sammy. Okay, you got it.
With Ontario sitting for Team Young, looking for that hit and flop. They're on Sam's second rock.
You gotta bite center. Ready. Okay.
Again, just
9-6.
not finding that roll, neither team at this point. The elusive inside roll.
Yeah, they overthrew that one a little, and same as the spot where Nathan Locke threw down, they just ran fairly straight.
Sure. I like this ice. I think that's close for control. That's pretty close. With control, that's good.
So there are a couple different ways you can make this hit. You can drop your weight and leave your broom there if you've been seeing it run straight, or you can tighten your broom and throw that same weight and try to get it.
High is better than low.
But you have to do it in those combinations. You can't change the broom and change your weight.
So now Ontario's throwing down the same path, just have to be a little careful not to set it a little wide like we've seen on a couple other shots from Newfoundland, and not try not to jam it on the back rock.
Hey, man, good. Yep, really hard. Hard. Yeah. Hard.
There will be a roll. And a pretty beautiful one, getting that at least half buried in behind. See a great sweep to hold that rock.
I really like the way he threw that. Maybe got a little bit tight and allowed the sweepers to hold it there in a straight spot.
One more. Add more. Yeah.
It's a great point. They've got such great sweepers out here. Use them.
I think they were looking for a little bit less of a roll, because now if this is made, there is only maybe a double run back available for Ontario.
Speed's good here.
Speed's good?
Yeah.
Last drive here was the 1 top 8 in the first game, eh?
Yeah. So just throw a hair more than that.
Great conversation, the hack. Thinking back to previous shots down this path and how it'll run. This was also their draw the button path.
Top 4. Yep. Top 8, we gotta go. Hard line, gotta go. Gotta go, guys.
This rock is moving early.
Wait's okay. Gotta go. You're on the top.
So that could be tricky. We've seen this spot in a couple games where the sweepers and the throwers really have to try and anticipate that curl because it's really taking the weight off.
Yeah, a lot of people at home might say that he should have probably hit something. But the caliber of these teams and the way the score is, if you try to hit something, you're going to get forced 100% of the time unless you get a complete miss out of Ontario, which, you know, you can't assume.
I feel like this side was a little straight.
Unfortunately, he did miss the wrong way because the miss was to come heavy, and even if he was frozen onto the back rock, still would have gave him some sort of chance at a 2, and if it was frozen, it would have eliminated those 3 rocks in the 12-foot around for Ontario.
Yeah, Team Young has just had a few uncharacteristic misses and also, unfortunately, bad misses that haven't really left them much to work with. So if Ontario comes down here and slams it into the 4-foot, it's going to make it Team Newfoundland Labrador have a very tough shot and against a bundle for their last.
I got there. I got there, too. No. Where? Back 8.
You talk about tolerance for this shot, and they need to be anywhere in the front. The sweeper's backing right off this one.
Don't leave him a wall. Do not leave him a wall. Okay, whoa. Go. Yeah, hard. Keep going. Okay, Lando. Sorry, boys. My bad.
So Ontario is sitting 5. But Nathan Young will have the exact same shot he just threw, and a little extra backing as well.
Throw the difference, eh?
Can be disappointing for Team Ontario because they had a chance to really, I like to call it, stick the knife in and twist it there. But at the same time, if you talk to them at the beginning of this end, they'd be quite happy with forcing Team Young into a single point.
Yeah, especially now. I'm sure they're a little disappointed that rock wasn't on top of the rings, but after seeing Nathan Young miss his first one by probably 8 feet, even though it's the same shot, I'm sure that's in the back of his mind, and of course it's against 5 as well, so lots of pressure on this shot here.
And here we go. Big pressure shot for skip Nathan Young.
You need the backing.
Sweepers calling early backing, and this one is hanging. There is some backing, but it is not close to it yet. And that looks like it's at least 3 for Newfoundland. Going to take a look at that 4th.
Looks like 4 to me.
And they're going to put a stick to that. So at least a steal of 3 for Team Ontario. Could be a steal of 4. Joel, you're calling that it's 4. We'd like to put a bet on this. We were betting coffees this morning. What would we like to bet? A Tim Hortons donut on this, or?
Yeah, I'm good with a donut, sure.
All right. Well, just for fun, I'll take the Red Rock. As you can see from the overhead, it is pretty close. Does look like it might be the yellow one, but are you starting to dream up your donut flavor? So again, this is measured to see if it will be a steal of 3 or a steal of 4 for Team Ontario.
I was thinking, oh, this is probably max ice, but max ice is probably like
almost to the second mark.
I think it's always good.
And this will go well past. So that is a huge steal of 4 for Team Ontario, and they will take a commanding 9-3 lead after 6 ends. And we will be back in just a few moments.
This is where the focus comes into play. Look at that. Canada, say hello to your new champions.
Proudly pulling for this generation of Canadians and the next for over 40 years at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Curling Championships. My name is Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Joel Kratz. And we have our feature game, Team Ontario versus Team Newfoundland and Labrador. And we started off with a very conservative start to the game, but it has turned around in these past 2 ends. Team Ontario taking a 4-ender in end 5 and then a steal of 4 in end 6 as Nathan Young's last rock, heavy, wide, gives up a big one.
I think the first 4-ender sort of came out of nowhere and might have surprised Newfoundland a little and sort of took the wind out of their sails, and then couldn't really make a 4-4 shot in the 6th end to get anything going. And then fortunately Nathan threw complete opposites on both of his stones, coming up well short on his first and then well heavy on the second. Does leave Newfoundland in quite the hole now.
It does, and I mean here too, you refer there to that momentum shift and how important that was. But interestingly, we'll go back to the draw to the button before the game for a moment, as Ontario had 2 good draws to pick up hammer, and Newfoundland had an uncharacteristic, pretty, well, we won't sugarcoat it. It was a bad draw, one coming up light of the rings, the other one just hitting the 12-foot. So it didn't really start them off on a good foot, and sometimes that can be something you can overcome, learn from, or it can be an indication of things to come, and it looks like it was a bit more of an indication in this case. They've just never quite found that feel yet. But I mean, we've seen 2 4s on the board, and Team Young, great team. So no question that we could see a comeback here.
And I tell you, we have seen quite a few comebacks this week from many points down, so maybe that trend will continue here.
So we have Team Ontario. You referred to earlier in the broadcast, Joel, how got a bit of a different lineup than the team did at the beginning part of the season when they played at the World Junior Qualifier. Alternate Scott Mitchell, he was the alternate here, but was skipping previously, and got a bit of a story behind that.
Yeah, so after we successfully won the World Junior Qualifier, we had to pick an alternate to take to the World Championship. And Scott's been a good friend of ours, playing with our skip Owen Purcell and Scott Weigel before. So we asked him to come, and he had to make a decision, unfortunately. Originally, Worlds were supposed to be a couple weeks ago in March, and that conflicted with the provincial event to qualify for the New Holland Canadian Juniors here in Stratford. So he did decide to come with us, and so of course the rest of the team went ahead and they got a new player, and after Worlds were pushed back into May. They took him on as 5th because he's a very good asset to have around on the bench. You know, could play any position and has lots of experience as well. So that's why he's on the bench this week.
And their rejigged lineup, as you can see, having some great success as well.
Of course, yeah.
And this rock is going to fly by.
Calm the fuck down. You're up.
And
Jesus Christ.
And really, there's some strong emotions out here on the ice. I mean, there's a lot on the line for this playoff game. The winning team heads to the semifinals, and unfortunately, the losing team will be out of the competition. So some high emotions, and this has been quite a roller coaster of a game.
Yeah. First real break for Newfoundland in the last couple ends. It is good to note that the pool winners, so there are 4 teams on both, well, 2 from the men's and the ladies' side, still waiting for the winners of each of these games. So the winner of this game plays Saskatchewan and Damon Bernath. And I know the winner of the other men's game, BC and Alberta, they would go on to play Manitoba's Jordan McDonald, who won the other pool. And then on the women's side, on sheet A, Alberta 2 is playing New Brunswick, and the winner of that goes to play the only undefeated team on both sides of the event, Taylor Stevens from Nova Scotia, having such a great week so far. And the other game, Ontario and Alberta 1, they would go on to play the women's team that's joining our team at the World Championship, Team Lukowicz from Northern Ontario.
Yeah, some fantastic play. I know, Joel, I've been so impressed with the level of play that we've seen here. The shot making, the confidence, the maturity that these players have demonstrated.
You're there.
Again, these are the players we're going to be seeing all for the coming years at the Brier and the Scotties.
Yeah, it's a little bit unusual. There are a lot of players here that are in high school. Actually, usually you don't see that much at the Canadian Junior, but it's great to see that all these younger teams are putting in a lot of effort, and some even getting to the Under-18 championship that's later this year. So, great opportunity for them to compete against all the older and top-level teams in junior curling in the country before they get to maybe their main focus of the year, maybe.
Yeah, and that Canadian Championship is being held at the beginning of May, and that's in Oakville, Ontario. Now we're seeing here, Ontario gave Newfoundland and Labrador an opportunity to draw behind, and it unfortunately didn't capitalize on that. So Ontario sitting 3. You have Sam Follett trying to use these 2 corner guards, draw behind, really sink it and potentially sit third shot.
Wait's close. Line's good. Wait's good. T.
Newfoundland's still in good shape for a deuce if they can manage to lob one around these 2 corner guards, and it looks like that one will be buried. Good shot to outcount the other yellow that's on the other side of the rings.
This is probably the best. Sorry, the guard's probably the best outcome, but it's the riskiest. We could. Because you could end up here and it's fine. I don't hate it. They're frozen on. You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess the thing is, if I miss the freeze, what's he playing, right? He wraps, then I guard. He's got, he wraps, I don't mind the guard. Yeah, no. Yeah, do you want to call time or do you want to see? You like that? On 17 degrees. On the call timeout, so. Missing it here is okay. Yeah, I was going to say, like, you have more room for error because this is more than okay. I agree. Yep. Yeah. It's anywhere in the.
I really like this call. I'm not really sure what else you could play, especially this late in the end. Now you're down to Skip's Rocks. So if you can come in front of that and freeze on it. Nathan has a sort of manufacture a 2 out of a with those 2 rocks in the top of the button, which are pretty hard to remove without losing your shooter at the same time.
Yeah, their other option would have been the guard on the rock, but we talked about how hard it can be to throw a guard, and as you mentioned, Joel, it's much easier to make this come around here too. If they make the freeze, great. Even if they're a few feet ahead of it, still pretty good result.
Yeah, there's a lot of spots you could be coming around this guard here. As long as you're out counting that rock, you can be from full 12 to right on it, and even if you're a little heavy, you can bump it out. So there's a big tolerance here.
Looks super light. Looks light, guys. Line's good. That's really light, boys. Gotta go, Nate.
And one place you don't want to be is light, so this really needs to be in the rings.
Oh, fuck. Hey, that's not pretty high five.
So it did need to be in the rings, and that was the trouble with it. There was some tolerance, but maybe we were being a little too generous in talking about that.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. You definitely still needed to out-count the red one. Because now if Nathan hits this right on the nose, there's actually an opportunity for 3. They stay frozen right on the nose of this rock.
Yeah. He didn't throw his rock. He didn't throw his rock. Who did? You.
Who's throwing a hit?
Yeah.
He's only control here.
So you notice Ben Stringer mentioning that Nathan Locke didn't throw his rock, possibly mentioning that the numbers are a little mismatched there with the combinations that they decided to throw. So now Nathan might have to throw a rock that wasn't given to him by Jeff Thomas at the beginning of the game.
Big scrub. This rock is just diving. They were trying to get that behind the guard, but it will be exposed with a little air.
Yeah, actually no harm.
I kind of got caught in between those two shots. There's the one you mentioned, Joel, where they just hit on nose and stay on nose, or you hit and roll, leaving that rock on center and getting yours behind the guard, and they just got caught right in between.
Well, you don't make the double. Is that what you're getting at? No, if I just... Well, even... Yeah, no. I'm just saying. I know, but we don't want to get too cute. Yeah. You want to get...
Few ways you can miss this again. If you don't make the double, I think if you hit it right on the nose, the double ends up jamming. But I think the way the score is, you always try the double.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if I miss it thick, we're almost making the shot we're calling anyways, right? Yeah.
But also in the 7th end, getting later in this game, Ontario would be more than happy to give up 2 and take the hammer still up with 4 points.
And that's a really good point too. Just keeping in mind the scoreboard, not trying to get too cute with anything or overthink.
Yeah, the only thing you can't do here is miss the rock and not hit one of those out.
So this is last rock for Team Ontario in N7. Landon Rooney playing the double.
Yes! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa!
Not one, and they will jam it. So some frustration from Ontario. They had some conflicting calls, on-off calls, and overswept. So Team Newfoundland Labrador, open hit for the deuce. So if they can get this deuce, they will tighten the score, trailing by 4. Score would be 9-5 if Nathan Young can successfully execute this hit. And they do. So heading into end 8, Team Ontario trailing by 4 points, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Men's and Women's Curling Championships here in Stratford, Ontario. My name's Danielle Inglis. I'm joined in the booth by Joel Kratz. We've got our feature matchup. Team Ontario taking on Team Newfoundland Labrador. Been a roller coaster of a game. Some strong emotions out here with the winner getting a trip to the semis and the second place team going home. So still got a few ends to play here. Team Newfoundland Labrador has a bit of an uphill climb, but we have seen some big ends scored in this game and big ends scored all throughout the week, as you pointed out earlier, Joel.
How did that over?
Yeah, one thing for Newfoundland is they're going to have to get a multiple steal somehow. Unfortunately, if they steal one for the next 3 ends, they're still going to lose by one. So, going to have to really try to make 8 shots in a row now for the next 3 ends.
And it is worth noting that during the round robin, teams had to play 8 ends, but for these playoff games, it's a minimum of 9 ends for teams.
15-8.
And that does change things slightly. In this case, with such a big lead for Team Ontario, they need to be able to maintain their focus and knowing that this is not the last end. They need to hang in there and keep it up. And Team Newfoundland on the flip side, knowing that they do have the opportunity to come back. They have a few more ends and hopefully can make a game of it, really, because they're a better team than what the scoreboard is showing.
Of course, and since there's a minimum of 2 more ends, and we saw earlier Ontario score 8 points in 2 ends, so there still is an opportunity or a chance that a similar type of occurrence could happen.
Sorry. Little top. Okay, then maybe a touch more then. Easy. 7,
So we see both of those red rocks just off the center line, in between a corner and a center guard. Team Ontario trying the tap on their rock.
Still Jacob. Coming down. Well, Nate. Yep, hard. Really coming down. Hard. Keep going. Line's really good.
On that spot, we see curl and lose a good chunk of its weight. Still a great result.
Yeah. Give it a chance, Nate. It's slowing down a bit.
I know the observation was that the ice is slowing down a bit. I would also observe, Joel, that it's kind of been doing it all game in that spot, really.
Top row. Tight. Yep, get around.
Oh, this rock also coming up light. I mean, you talk about pro side misses, at least it did land still in a guard position. So they're going to need those guards in play in order to possibly steal here.
Of course, now that the free guard zone rule is not in effect, that this is the 6th rock at the end, so Ontario is just going to be peeling.
Yep. Oh, easy. Clean. Nice shot.
And they'll just take the one. I really do like seeing them just make the single peel, not trying to be too fancy, because they could have had, with that, there were a lot of jam possibilities on the rocks in the house.
And certainly it does help that those 2 rocks there by Austin Snyder are in great position. I think no matter where you go, you could hit those rocks back on something, because they will drag even though they're a little staggered.
Like back line weight. Try to move around a little bit. It's like back line weight. Yeah, hack weight.
So the original call was more of a peel. Saw the players at the other end just questioning. I like this change of call.
You gotta go.
Really, you just need to redecorate a little. I would actually like to see them just play a tap, actually. Keep those rocks in play, because that's what they'll really need. Because you see here, spread it out, but there's... I would say it could have been better, because if you kept it onto the nose of the rock, kept it frozen, and just simply tapped it back, there would be something to work with later on in the end. But now you're seeing Team Ontario. Landon couldn't run out there quick enough to go put the broom down for this double peel.
I think you're right, it was a little bit heavy for even what they're calling. It might have been closer to board. But it is much better than it was, because Team Young there was nothing they could do with those rocks. They were in such a good position, they had to do something with those.
Yep. Whoa. Roll hair. Oh, you're missing. Yep. Hard.
And that was an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, quite unfortunate there to only get one. Just caught the outside rock first and took all the momentum out of the second one.
I'll still leave 2 guards up there. And for Team Ontario, now that guard is theirs.
It's slowing down, Sam. Like a 20 isn't in. 20 is top 12.
I think what Newfoundland will try to do is get at least T-line, maybe even a little deeper, just to make the run back a little longer. That might not even matter, though. You might just see Ontario peel the center guard.
Wait close. Early. We gotta go, buddy. We gotta go, Nate. We gotta go, Nate. We gotta see. Help me.
Cheese. Your cheese.
Lots of room.
Mine's good.
Lots of room.
Where?
T.
You gotta be careful about taking those brooms off.
Can't hurt it. Wait, perfect.
It is coming down.
Carbonate. Right over. Good.
And you'll see some beautiful top button.
I like the end. Which end? In.
So we're playing the straight run back. And you think about tolerance for this shot. If they don't make the straight run back, even a peel out here is fine.
Yeah.
And beautiful. Hits the back, but spills it as well. So well done. Great shot by Nathan Steele.
Nice bonus there to catch the back one. Does remove something that Newfoundland can freeze to.
You'll see you losing all those rocks and keeping it around for just at 1-2. And we're seeing a timeout being called by Team Newfoundland Labrador. Coach Jeff Thomas will be making an appearance. So let's listen in.
Make that run harder.
Of course, Jeff Thomas is very experienced, going to multiple Briars as well as coaching Brad Gushu for quite a long time, winning a World Junior Championship and recently back on, and he was at the Olympics with the team.
How did we give up 4 points twice? Where was my first? I actually don't know.
So you've got a couple players trying to figure it out. The front end still shaking their heads over a few ends ago.
No, they subbed that one quite a bit, I think.
We subbed it most of the way.
So Joel, what do you think here? What do you think of their options?
Yeah, so I think what Jeff is saying is that he did make the run back on his first one, and the call was to come in a similar position that they were before. So I think what you're going to see is them go behind the tee line.
I got your 2.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's lighter. I got a 25.
So they're going to come
came up short.
behind the tee line. The other call was the guard that they were looking at, the second guard. But But it doesn't really accomplish a whole lot because you kind of need to load up the house a little bit considering the way the score is.
Wait, good!
So
Line's
line's
good.
looking pretty good.
Line's good.
Gotta be back.
Nate, if you can.
Back 4.
Hey, Nate. Line's good. Make sure, Benny.
You're good.
Make sure, guys.
You're there.
Make sure. Make sure.
And
First spot.
couldn't have walked it down any better. That's exactly where they'd like it. So you can see it still leaves the run, but at least being back 4, it gives just a bit more separation.
Yeah, I think that's even the minimum amount of space that you want. I think ideally that was a foot or two even deeper.
And another beauty. And not only that, they spilled the rock as well, which may think you wanted to stick around, but actually the way they hit that, because you could see if they did stick it, the rock would be mostly behind the tee line, so that would actually work to Newfoundland's advantage.
I think that was Jeff Thomas's point, is that if they, I mean, they were never going to freeze, but if they ever stuck that one there, then there was, they could lock one right on the side of the button as
I
well.
don't think I threw a draw last.
You threw 2 draws.
Last time I threw 2.
You threw 2 draws.
Well, we
You
had
threw a
hit
draw,
the
and it came up short, and you threw a draw. Oh, 2 and 0.
Oh, okay.
2 and 0. 2 and 0. Sorry.
You got it, buddy.
Just talking over the paths.
So looking for a similar position, back 4 weight behind the center guard.
Where?
Here we go.
Line's good. Yep. High line. High line. It's good.
King.
Whoa. Back
Line's
4.
good.
Back 4 on its own.
Just here, guys.
You're there on its own.
Line's good.
Line's great.
Back 4.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Shot, Nate.
And another good-looking shot.
Do you ever take that? I agree.
So decision time for Team Ontario.
Yeah. If I make that, we're sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Oh,
if we
sorry. It's
straight
not
field-
as open as I thought. Sorry. Let's make that.
I don't know. Is he guarding?
So just changing gears a little bit there. It looks like they're going to peel the guard into the side red.
What, like a quarter? Third? Yeah. Not even less.
Good call. Obviously, they've made the run back twice and nosed it, so the rock they're running back is a little higher.
Straight field.
This is a very mature call, too, and a really good scoreboard call. It's really, if they can make this and then they can jam it back on there is a ton of pressure on Team Newfoundland. That's going to be one lonely red rock.
Yeah, and if they don't put the guard back, and as we've talked about, it's very tough to get the line right on the guard. Ontario will be able to chase it and, I mean, potentially score 4 if this one is stuck on the side.
Whoa! 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 Yeah! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa! Yep! Whoa! 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 Come on!
And a beauty.
Doesn't hang it on the side, but does remove it.
They scoring one is no good.
You can't do that. He gets on double play.
Yeah, I know.
The guys play the double and 4. Well, we still can come back as a 2. We're stealing 2 anyway. We got to steal 2 somewhere anyway.
You got a guard, guys.
We're stealing 2 and 10.
That's what I mean.
Make him draw the pin.
It's the same situation. We got to steal 2 somewhere.
Well, what if we steal one now? 9 and 6.
We got to steal 2 again. We can't give up a 3, a 2. We cannot give up a 2. We can 4.
Well, if we guard, he's got to draw.
He doesn't have anything to try to double. He has a double.
That would point.
He has a double. We play that. We can force.
Force is okay,
The
but
steal
like,
of 2 is still, it's in there no matter what you do.
no.
And Nathan is right. Even if they give up 1 here, if they manage to get a 3 back, they would have to steal 2 and 10.
If we do
So
this,
kind of like, and if they steal 1 here, they
if we give up
would have to steal a
if we give
multiple.
up 2, if we give
And
up
so
3,
no matter
by playing the
what
guard.
situation occurs, they would have
Yeah,
to
that's what I mean.
So what's the difference?
would have to steal 2.
Because
Giving
they
up
might
3
have
versus
a
giving up 1, you play if you give up 1.
We're still stealing in the 10
Yeah,
too.
you
It's
still have to do the same thing.
Normal. Turn.
You make the double as the game's not over. If he makes this shot.
Because it's not far off nose, right? Right there. Okay.
Great conversation, and good to have all the players in on it, understanding where you're going with the strategy. I mean, Team Newfoundland and Labrador know they're in tough no matter what, but this still gives them a good shot.
Kind of wait. Okay.
I think what the decision, the final decision was made based off the fact that
Playing over the top, or?
if you do give up 3, the game is certainly over, and if you don't, if you do force them to 1, there is an outside chance, but the game isn't over.
So this is Skip Nathan Young's last rock here in end 8.
Yes, Nate. Hard, Nate. Gotta go.
And he makes it. Just as they drew up. See here, nice clean. Finished it off with a sweep. And a perfectly executed double. So now you're seeing Team Ontario being forced to hit for the single.
Yo, bud.
So this is an opportunity for Team Ontario to take a 10-5 lead after 8 ends.
Weight's good. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Oh. Yep. Weight's good. Yep. Whoa. 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 Nate. Nate. Hard, Nate. Clean. Hard, Nate. Right show. Hard, Nate. Hard, Nate. Hard, Nate. Hard, Nate. Hard. Hard. Good.
And they'll make it. As a single point for Team Ontario. 10-5 lead over Team Newfoundland and Labrador, and we will be back in just a few moments. Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Men's and Women's Curling Championships. We are coming to you from the Stratford Rotary Complex. My name's Danielle Inglis. My pleasure to have Joel Kratz in the booth with me.
Not likely.
And in our feature game, it is a 10-5 lead for Team Ontario over Team Newfoundland. Team Newfoundland forcing Ontario to the single in end 8, so they will have the hammer in end 9. We've also got 3 other playoff games on the ice right now. Team Alberta and Team New Brunswick. It is a series of steals for Team Alberta on the women's side. They are now leading 6-4. In the other women's game, we have Team Alberta with a 4-3 lead over Team Ontario. And a tight game going on the other men's sheet. Alberta 4-3 over Team BC. Back on our future sheet, it really was just ends 5 and 6 with the Ontario taking 4 and then stealing 4. And end 6, that has been all the difference. Otherwise, it's been a fairly well executed, a tight game.
First missed out of Austin Snyder here, unfortunately comes late on a draw to the forefoot, and Newfoundland guarded it pretty well, so they can't remove it.
That was actually a really smart call by them to throw that guard on there rather than just throwing a corner guard. They really need every single rock in play this end. Hopefully we saw Team Young perhaps playing some hits where they should have really just redecorated the house, moved things around.
We need guards. We're down 5. Oh, you got to throw the corner.
I think we should probably corner.
I think we have to.
So for Team Young guarding the Yellowstone, doesn't really matter at this point where the guards are. I mean, you can manufacture points around anything.
The traditional with the hammer, putting it towards the outside is kind of out the window at this point. You just need rocks no matter where they are.
Certainly, yeah, and you're going to need a few misses, and those guards there, it's a tough double peel. They're pretty high, so.
Terrible.
And then Ontario's second rock not getting buried. It is wide open, so that is again certainly something that helps Newfoundland.
We want to run the bar, they peel the top. And they keep guarding, we got 3.
I mean, you know it has to be missing.
But they're gonna, if they make one run back there, they're gonna double it.
So the 5 rock rule is still in effect, so Ontario can still, they can't peel any guards yet.
So even though they're up 5, they still need to be very careful about their placement of their rocks. Some good placement could really mean all the difference. Heard Team Young have a bit of a powwow at the other end saying we're going to need a miss, and I couldn't agree more. At this point, they are going to need a bit of a miss out of Team Ontario to help them score a big end to get back into this.
Yeah, Ontario can't lose focus here because all of a sudden it's not hard to give up a 3. If you get a 1 miss and maybe a half miss, then there's a 3 on the board, and then all of a sudden, even though you have a 5-point lead, your skipper might have to make a shot that could possibly be tough in the 10th end.
Release here, give it a chance.
It's even pretty easy to give up a 4, as we've seen this game.
Heavy hack.
Yeah, and you never know. That's curling. That's exactly why we play the games, because you never know what's going to happen.
Clean! Clean! Sam! Clean! Sam! Whoa!
Sam! Good shot. Good shot, Nate.
Excellent shot. Again, that's what you want to see, just tapping the rocks, changing the angles up, getting your rocks in a good position, and that one is fully buried behind 2 guards.
No. Just straight rep. Okay.
I like this call by Team Ontario, just straight ripping the guard. Not trying to do anything fancy.
Oh. Yep.
That could get them in trouble.
Keep that on center. Okay, good. Shot. So bad. It's so. Okay. Did you throw the number 2? You did?
Above it!
Okay.
Now just using that corner guard to their advantage. And just putting the rocks in the house. They don't necessarily have to be shot right away, but hopefully for Team Newfoundland Labrador, they'll come into play later on in the end.
Yeah, ideally, if you're looking for 3, you're going to need 2 that are buried. So if this is made, they will have that situation. And both the Ontario stones are wide open. Well, one of them is, but it's accessible for a double.
Good. Get him later. Bye-bye.
Keep going, guys. Keep going, Nate. Good shot, Nate.
And mission accomplished.
Yeah, it didn't really matter where that one was as long as it was buried. It could be top 8 like it is or back 8. Doesn't really matter.
What are you thinking? He has to make a few good shots at least. You want to just rip that corner? We could just rip the corner. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the smart call. You like the corner? I like the corner. I think that's smart.
And agreed. It is a smart, conservative scoreboard call.
What else are you thinking? Ripping the center, but I think that the corner is probably more of a threat to us right now. You can always hit rolling off. Yeah, exactly.
Because they do always have their rock as a short run back if they need it. We've got a very rowdy crowd out here tonight. Lots of noisemakers. It's now making it tough for some of the players to hear.
Wow. That's terrible.
And we have our first final out here.
You got it, Sammy.
Well, not quite a final yet. They do have to play one, well, at least one more in 9, but it seemed like it was a big 4 points picked up by Team Alberta.
2.
So that means that they will now have a 10-4 lead over Team New Brunswick.
Wait's good. On the logo.
It's like,
I did see New Brunswick try to concede the game, but as you said earlier, you had to play 9 in the playoffs.
Overcall the tongue. Hey, Sam.
Sam followed there, sort of jiggling the rock when he was throwing. Might have thought there was something under it.
Can't catch a break.
so now that rock is pretty much fully exposed, edge on edge.
Like 3/4, almost all of it. What weight you like?
They'd love to try to stick here, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, you like peel or you like? You ever like sticking around? No, sure. Just get rid of it. Okay. But like, what weight you like? Sure, I'm going with Norm. I like Norm personally. Whatever you guys like. Okay, I don't mind Norm. Okay, Norm. Yeah, Norm makes this pretty good.
Yeah, so they are softening the weight a bit and trying to roll in. If they can make this good, it does help their chances of maybe keeping Newfoundland to 2. Make Newfoundland's job a little bit harder with an extra rock in the rings.
Yes! Whoa, no.
And they don't necessarily want to upset any of their rocks.
So good. Great shot.
And that is a beauty. That extra spin just gets a really nice angle for them.
That's pretty good. That's so good. That's so good.
See the patience on the line call. Small sweep.
Good shot.
And the reason why that's really good is now that red was buried, but that it is open. They will have to freeze a little bit towards the left as you look at it because, oh, sorry, you want to freeze to the other side. So there is no double. But since that red rock is open, there would be a bit of a slash, possibly, for a double. So they're looking for a nose freeze or a little bit on the inside.
Hard line. Yep. To it. Yep. Hard line. Line's good. Line's good. No bounce. Whoa. No bounce. Wait, yep. No bounce.
And just as you mentioned, touch of a freeze on the inside. It did, and if we're splitting hairs here, didn't want to bounce it those couple inches, but still forcing Ontario to make a good shot here.
Yeah, and as Vic Roeder always says, there's a bit of rattle room in there. So if they can hit half a rock, it will kill their own, but more importantly, it would remove the red rock.
We got to hit it pretty fast. Yeah.
And the tolerance when you're down by a bunch of points is virtually nothing.
Is there room?
Yeah, there's not a lot of room. You've got to make every shot practically perfect.
Probably losing them both.
I mean, for Ontario, they do want to lose them both. We talked earlier about how any rock in behind the tee really is a helpful rock for Team Newfoundland.
Which way? I can't see which way.
This is the first rock, bed 9 for Skip Landon Rooney.
Nate. Oh, yep. Austin. Hard. Whoa, good. Nice.
And they'll lose him right out. Mission accomplished.
No need to freeze.
So now Nathan will try to freeze to the back 4 rock.
It is red sitting shot over on the side.
Freeze the back one.
Well, this one certainly has to be made, and then we were talking about you're going to need a miss, and this is the one you're going to need a miss on after this. Hopefully, is made for Newfoundland.
Yeah, because that brings in that 3 points potentially.
Of course, yeah.
Definitely slowing down there, probably about 4 feet slow.
Same as last one.
Yeah, you know,
Good observation from the sweepers, saying it's about 4 feet slower.
hard line.
Weight's good.
You're all
Hard
there.
line.
Bump.
Help him, Nate.
Yes. Hard line. Hard, Ben. Weight's good. Hard.
They're sweeping it hard for the line, but they also need the weight as this just comes down. They will sit 2, but it is completely open.
Maybe squirt it in there. Yeah. Your miss is probably tight, eh? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think nose is pretty good.
So you can see there
Where do you want to hit it?
that there are some options. They could potentially
Oh, wait. Nose or
sit a
hand,
bundle
Mo?
after this.
Yeah, I like it.
Actually, let me just go tell Jake everything. I'm going to tell Jake everything.
So the skipper just going back down, just want to confirm exactly what they're trying to do.
Hair low, I guess, eh? Nose is pretty good.
If we get everything.
I
That's
think
true.
we're always coming to the side.
Yeah, that's why I don't think you need a shot.
I think nose is really good.
Nose is very good.
Make him throw this wide.
Nose is very good.
Yeah, but obviously miss well. Yeah, I miss. I think you
Give
go
me
for
right
a
in the
little
middle of the
flop,
rock.
and I'll just
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree what they're saying, because if they nose, the draw is very tough.
Right on the beak is perfect. Make him throw a different draw.
Yeah, and really giving up
Yeah, I like it.
2 in this end for them.
Yeah,
is fine by the
they'll be
scoreboard.
more than happy to be up 3 with the hammer and 10.
In the end, they just can't lose sight of make it go away.
Exactly, yeah. The only thing you can't do is jam it. So nose or anything inside will do.
Yep. Yeah, really hard. Hard, buddy. Really hard. Oh. Okay.
And it
That's
looks like
okay,
they did
actually.
end up getting shot.
I like that.
And watch this, they going for nose, but saying inside is okay. Big scrub to get it by the guard. Hit roll, bounce off their own, and they'll sit shot.
Yeah.
You gotta come by close to the guard.
I think we would call it tight, like tight ice.
Yeah.
He only gets corners. I think here is probably max.
Okay. Yeah, you need to call it pretty tight, but Tammy, if we notice it, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that, actually. I think if they nose, they might only get 1. They kind of need a roll to the inside. I thought they would play it over the top the other way with softer weight and try to roll down towards the forefoot.
Well, what's interesting here is that rock at the back. I agree with you, Joel. I'm not convinced either that if they nose that they're shot over that number 6 yellow, but they do need to remove that yellow rock at the back.
Yeah, they do need to make the double.
Nate, right there is a piece of dirt.
Certainly a game on the line. If this isn't made, you could see handshakes.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Nate. Yep. Straight. Clean.
Oh.
Shot. One more.
Oh, it's only one.
Yeah, so it did seem like they expected you could get 2 there, and here they go. The gloves come off, and be a win for Ontario.
So that is a big win for Ontario, and they will move on to play Team Saskatchewan tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And we will be back with our live streaming of the semifinals for the 2022 New Holland Canadian Juniors. So on behalf of myself, Danielle Inglis, Joel Kratz, and our entire crew here, we wish you a good evening.